Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is January the 14th, 2019. Strong hand, long-term thinking, unconfiscatable. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Offended by selling. Be in motion. Okay, check out the links below. Everything I talk about in this video is linked to below. Get your t-shirts. All sorts of nice affiliate links are below if you want to support the show or send some crypto or do a super chat. If you're watching this live, I'll answer your question. Oh, yeah. So let's jump into this. Yesterday's show, of course, linked to below, and of course at the archives, disruptmeister.com. I talked about 4-year cycles in Bitcoin, how we seem to repeat. 2013 was a lot like 2017. 2014, 2018 ended up a lot like 2014. Wouldn't surprise me if 2019 was like 2015. Chris Berniski has a tweet, coincidentally, that is similar to what I was talking about yesterday. And again, I was saying that in 2015, the FUD was spreading in a certain way, and the same guy spreading FUD in 2015 have come back, lo and behold, in 2019 to say the same exact things. You can watch that in yesterday's video. But here, crypto markets and development, he breaks down the years, okay? So he says, so the first thing he'll describe is for crypto markets. The second is for development. So 2013, he says, was frenzy, overpromise. 2014, and I link to this below, crash and underdeliver. 2015, consolidate and ship. 2016, lift and refine for adoption. And then it starts over again. 2017, frenzy and overpromise. 2018, crash and underdeliver. 2019, consolidate and ship. 2020, lift and refine for adoption. Now, will we see 2019 and 2020 be like 2015 and 2016? Who knows? There's something to this. I mean, this might be an oversimplification, what he's giving out there. You can probably find some exceptions. And hey, you never know. You never know what could happen. But I wouldn't worry too much about what the price is today. I think I've said that a million times in terms of fiat, at least, because one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. You can hang your hat on knowing that there's going to be a 2020 halving and remembering how 2016 was and how the year following that was, and remembering how 2012 was and what the year following like that was. So we'll see. And so if history repeats itself again, then there will be no excuse in the year 2022 to have a weak hand. None at all if history repeats itself for 2019, 20, and 21. Okay, let's move on to a Nick Carter article. Unpacking Bitcoin's assurances. And he says the objective for this piece was to present a framework of the major assurances that Bitcoin provides to users and make it clear that censorship resistance is only one of them. And so the 5 assurances that he lists, and this is a pretty good article: open access, seizure resistance, censorship resistance, counterfeit resistance, and free exit. Check that out below. Hey, man, I'm loving the seizure resistance, of course. Unconfiscatable. Follow me at TechBalt on Twitter. TechBalt.com, all the old This Week in Bitcoin shows. We've had over 100 of those. And now on DisruptMeister.com, I'm approaching like 1,200 Bitcoin videos. Whoa! Yeah, man. I've got conviction. You better believe it. I'm going to keep on churning them out here. Every day, a new video. Yeah. No matter where I am. I've done shows from 6 different continents. Wow. Okay, it's been quite a ride, hasn't it, people? And it's just started. Pound that like button. All right. So there are a lot of people, not a lot of people. There are people that are like, is this the end of the bear market? What day is it going to end? What price is it going to end at? Well, first of all, one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. So, I mean, for me, it's not a bear market. But I know that some people value their wealth in fiat. Guys, if you are concerned about what day, I mean, if you're that concerned about, what day is it going to be? When's it going to happen? You're going to get beat. And this is where the big boys play, okay? We don't need exact dates. We don't need exact prices. We know what the long-term trend is for Bitcoin. If you believe in Bitcoin, you don't need to know that on April the 19th, 2019, it's going to hit its all-time, it's going to hit the low in terms of fiat for this bear market. And I pulled that out of my butt, by the way, that date. So don't go running around saying April the 19th, 2019, Meisters. No, I didn't say that. You don't need to know. That's the whole point of what I'm talking about right now. You don't need that. It's where the big boys play. It's be a strong hand, long-term thinker. Don't be impulsive. Impulsive people, they need to know the specific date. And it's got to be soon. It's got to be soon. It's got to end soon. If it's not soon and I don't know the date soon, I'm going to panic and sell. Bad attitude. Long-term thinking. Deferral of gratification. Strong hand. There have been quite a few people who say, Adam, I watch your show every day just to get the strong hand reminder. So yeah, I'm happy to give it out. I'm living the life. I'm living the strong hand life. You can tell I'm a true believer. You see how wide open my eyes are when I say that. Oh, I'm living it, baby. Deferral of gratification. I mean, it's great deferral. I spend no money. I was thinking about that. I mean, I don't spend much money during the year. And then of course I never touch my Bitcoin. And then I get up here in Israel, I get up at 11 a.m. every day. I got no complaints, man. I got, obviously sad things that happen in my personal life back in Baltimore and everything. But I mean, again, it's great to be alive. I mean, it's great to be doing this stuff, man. It is great. It's great. And you can do it too. You don't need a big screen TV. You don't need a car. I don't have a car. I don't have a big screen TV. It's funny that the guy who owns this place, he got the cable changed, the TV changed. He's like, look, it works. It's better now. And I was like, I never even turned this TV on. I never even turned the TV. He left the TV on. Then I turn it right off. Never even watched the TV here. I'm just pointing that out. Got to be productive. Got to be in motion. No need to watch the TV. That's noise. TV is noise. It can be worse than crypto noise because it can really take up a lot of your time. I know it takes up a lot of people. It takes up your time. Don't let the real world noise distract you, and don't let that crypto noise distract you. Whether it be crypto noise that sounds like it's good or crypto noise that is FUD. So Bakkt it's hilarious. They tweeted out this a few hours ago. What I'm about to say. Price goes, okay, no. That's not what we're pleased to share that we have entered into an agreement to acquire certain assets of Rosenthal Collins Group, an independent futures commission merchant. Okay, so still, Bakkt has taken a small step to becoming a reality. I mean, what do they say? What is it going to be? It's not going to be January 24th anymore. Again, it's going to happen eventually. But the crazy thing was, and I'm bringing this up because Bakkt is not priced in yet. It's not priced into the price. It's going to be people. It's a believe it when you see it type of factor in the Bitcoin price in terms of fiat. Because people are used to this now. They know that, hey man, it's not going to happen until it actually happens. They say a date. I'm not going to believe it until after that date. So far we don't really have a date when back. But on this news alone, and I am almost 100% sure that it was this news that when they released, I noticed all of a sudden the price went up $200 a Bitcoin right around the time they let that out there. So, hey, one of these days, it might not be February, it might not be March. Bakkt is going to be a real thing. And who knows? We might have a Bakkt swan event. Now, again, a black swan event is something that is completely unpredictable. Now, with Bakkt, we know it's going to happen eventually. We just don't know really when it's going to happen. So again, black swan events, back swan events, these things that they beat the technical analysis charts. They really do. But hey, we haven't had one. We haven't had one for a while. I mean, when was the last time there was a big giant event in crypto that just came out of the blue that was super positive, that pumped the fiat price? There's probably, who knows? There was all sorts of stuff going on in 2017. I can't remember now. Doesn't matter. In the long term, these things are going to happen. We just got to be patient. When they happen, they're not priced in yet, clearly, because the price goes wild on the rumors of them in terms of fiat. Just try to get more Bitcoin, people. 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. Don't worry about that fiat price. But all right, I wanted to bring that up because it is news, and it did. The price of it, I'm pretty sure when they sent that information out, that's when it went up $200. And it's people trying to manipulate. It's the that's the free market there. When something like that happens, people do start to buy in order to, for whatever their personal reasons are. They're like, oh, this will, and now everyone else is going to start buying, so I'll buy now, create a frenzy, and then I'll sell when the last person buys. I'm not going to get into the psychology of the speculators, because guess what? It's not worth it to be some speculator investor type of dude trying to think, well, what's the other guy thinking? You're just a long-term strong hand holder. You don't have to worry about all these things. But it's interesting to look at nonetheless. So Adam Back retweeted this out. Vontobel Taurus Crypto Custodian Custody Bank. In a first for Switzerland's financial center, Vontobel is poised to offer institutional clients crypto depository services. FinNews.com has learned. The Swiss bank is drawing on a Genevan-based fintech to do so. Okay, and so Vontobel is a big, long-term, reliable Swiss private bank with international offices and services. All right. So hey, if you're into that kind of thing, institutional investors letting their crypto be controlled because by a third party, by a trusted custodian like Vontobel, then I guess that's good. It's going to come to the United States soon enough also. I will say this. I would rather have my Bitcoin in a Swiss bank account in my pocket, my Trezor, than in a Swiss bank in my pocket, than have my Bitcoin in an actual Swiss bank, because it's not my Bitcoin when Vontobel is holding my Bitcoin for me. It's really Vontobel's. But apparently they're trusted, and maybe a bunch of institutions are going to buy up a lot of Bitcoin now and store it at Vontobel in old Switzerland, which is legendary for their financial innovations, should we say. Moving on. Now here's something talking about countries. There have been these rumors. Russia plans to tackle U.S. sanctions. Bitcoin investment, says Kremlin. Okay. Some say this is fake news. And I mean, maybe it is fake news. It's definitely a rumor. If Russia decides to do this, it would be good for Bitcoin. Bitcoin and the wider cryptocurrency industry now account for 8% of Russia's GDP. I don't know if that is true, by the way. And investment, it doesn't sound, that might be fake news right now. An investment to bolster the country's reserves with Bitcoin could start as soon as February. Okay, and so that was said by someone who works for Putin or someone who knows Putin, that in February they might start buying up Bitcoin for their reserves. Again, for that rumor to even, you're not going to let that rumor spill out if it's really going to happen. The bottom line is this, and I've said this many times, one day a country is going to buy Bitcoin and use it for its reserves. If Russia wants to do it, go ahead. If they want to go get it, and it'll be very successful for the country that does it. So, Russia, go ahead, make my day. Go ahead, pound that like button. And yeah, do it. But I don't know if that is true. I doubt that it's true, but one day it will be true with some country. Again, we can't predict specific dates here. I can't say it's going to be May 21st, 2020 that the Japanese are going to buy a bunch of Bitcoin and put in the reserve. Whatever. Okie dokie. Finally. And if you're some dude working for a country in the finance department, you really should do this. You really, because it's going to be, once one country does it, they're going to start warring. It's going to be a financial war. Who can get the most Bitcoin? And the price is just going to get driven up. And holders like me are going to be very happy that we got into Bitcoin before Russia did, or before Japan did, or before Israel did, before the United States did. The United States should be instead of they should make Fort Knox into I don't know, a Section 8 colony, and then trade all the gold that they had in Fort Knox for a Bitcoin and just put it on a Trezor. Then some people can have their welfare dollar, and the United States would become even. I mean, God, it would be great. Then who knows what would happen if the United States traded all their gold for. We're the richest country in the history of mankind. I mean, it would just take it to a whole new level at that point. And then Section 8 people could live in Fort Knox, I guess. I mean, then I guess they're at that point, who knows? Maybe there could be a universal basic income for those people, but they would have to live in Fort Knox. Okay, because again, when you're, hey man, I understand that people are poor and everything, but when you sign up with the government, you become like a ward of the taxpayers. So you got to do what you got to go where you can't, beggars can't be choosers, man. You got to go where you got to go. But in now in the United States, the whole attitude is, I'm a victim. I'm on Section 8. I've got a big screen TV. You got to give me more. Give me more. Give me more. Okay, that's for Saturday shows. That's for Saturday shows. Watch Saturday's Beyond Bitcoin show. We talk about all sorts of interesting things that go way beyond Bitcoin. So this guy, who is this dude? David Vorick. David Vorick says, fundamentals of proof of work. What is this? 2019 is the year of the 51% attack, he says, for altcoins. Once a problem only for cryptocurrencies of negligible value, high reputation and high market cap cryptocurrencies are now finding themselves victim to double spends, with exchanges taking the brunt of the damage. As the attacks continue to grow in frequency and severity, exchanges are beginning to take steps to protect themselves. Originally, this meant increasing the number of confirmations. However, the attacks have expanded from tens of blocks to hundreds of blocks. The effectiveness of this strategy is being called into question. Now, I'm reading all this for a reason. Without a significant course correction, we can expect the damages to grow, even to the point where exchanges may begin to fold. Okay, that would be quite a big thing. These 51% attacks are successful because of fundamental weaknesses in protocols of the targeted cryptocurrencies, and exchanges will ultimately need to be more restrictive, much more restrictive, when selecting which cryptocurrencies to support. So this is a very interesting take on the situation. Because the way these hackers are using these 51% attacks is to steal from exchanges. And they could bankrupt some of these exchanges if they do it right with some of these middle of the world, second tier altcoins. Okay. I mean, they've gotten up to like second tier type altcoins. They've been able to successfully pull this stuff off with. Maybe some would even say Ethereum Classic is a first tier altcoin. I guess not anymore. Top tier altcoin, excuse me. So, yeah, it will be interesting to see if exchanges trying to protect themselves from 51% attacks will become more selective in the coins that they let on their exchanges. That this could be a new factor in what coins are listed on what exchanges. If this becomes the year of the 51% attack, which it very well could be in altcoin land. In Bitcoin land, no, baby. All right, it's The Rock. So here we go. We got a super chat here. Let me see what this is all about. $10 from Guy Bennett. Wow, Guy Bennett, thank you very much. If you can't buy and hold your Bitcoin until the halving in 2020, Bitcoin probably isn't for you. Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly, dude. Buyers today should be looking toward the 2024 halving. Strong hand. Well, okay, I mean, everyone's got their own personal life to take care of. I mean, I've been yelling about the 2020 halving since 2016. So now, yeah, we're very close to this. We're less than a year and a half away. Wow. And if you've made it this far, you got to make it at least until after the halving, people. Come on. If you're buying now, first of all, for short-term capital gains tax in the United States, you're definitely not going to sell it before this date in 2020. If you bought it today, you're not selling it before this date in 2020. So you can't wait till May of 2020 to see what happens. And again, it's not going to be some magical moment on that day that Bitcoin's price is going to go up. Look what happened in 2016. Leading up to the halving, the price in fiat started to go up quite a bit. I mean, it doubled. It doubled from March of 2016 to about June of 2016. Then it went down a little bit. And then after the halving, it went down a little bit. Then slowly it started going up. And then at the end of 2016, December, it basically, it went from what, 600 some, 700 some to $1,000 on the first day of 2017. And from there, it was like wildness. I mean, that was the beginning of the wild 2017, January 1st. So, when we talk about the Bitcoin halving on 2016, its biggest effect, well, is a little bit before the halving, when because again, the price, it's not priced in yet. People are going to start to hear about it in, I don't know how early it's going to be this time. Again, they didn't start writing about the Bitcoin halving of 2016, and it took place in June, right? I think June or July. They didn't start writing about it until March or April. So this time around, I would suspect they'll start writing about it in January of 2020. And that's when the price will start to gradually go up in fiat, I would suspect, or maybe in February or March. And, and then people say, oh, this is not really happening. And it'll go down a bit. And it'll go down the day of the halving. And then they'll say, oh, you were wrong. You see, it didn't go wild. And then you wait and see. There'll be less of it around, and you'll see about supply and demand and hype and everything. All right. So yes, the bottom line is, if you got it now, you really should stick around until after the 2020 halving. All right, everybody, bang that bell button, click on those squares up there, subscribe to me at here at Bitcoin Meister, and at Bitcoin Meister on Steemit. I'm on Twitter. What am I? TechBalt, TCHBALT, and yeah, Bitbacker. I'm on there too. It's all linked to below. Click on the squares, pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. I will say hi to you guys in the chat. Thanks again